our news releases went out today, and I want to provide details on the county's amended executive order update on phase 2. Based on the data we're seeing right now in Montgomery County, we eased some restrictions and we tightened others. Our mission, as always, is to reduce the community spread of COVID. We have been informed by the work of the contact tracing and where they see a greater source of cases and where they don't see a greater source of cases. So the big highlights out of this are that some businesses will be allowed to reopen, and that'll include businesses that are providing services like tanning, tattooing, waxing, threading, electrolysis, cryotherapy, and facial and massages. All that's by appointment only, and all of that has restrictions as to space requirements. Restaurants are now required to stop alcohol services as of 10 p.m. Food service may continue, and alcohol may continue to be sold on a to-go basis. So if people who are sitting there and enjoying a meal and they want to linger later and they want yet another drink, they can order the drinks, but the drinks have to leave when they leave, and or leave with them when they leave. The reason behind this is that contact tracing has shown that people that congregate in establishments later in the evening have higher instances of physical contact and limited social distancing.
I want to, again, emphasize the message that we have talked about from the very beginning of the pandemic and throughout, particularly as it relates to reopening our phase guidelines, and particularly in the last week in relation to a number of topics in discussing reopening. We continue to remain committed to the principles of lowering our community transmission and lowering our daily caseloads, because those are the drivers that will allow us to successfully be able to reopen a host of different aspects of society, from businesses to schools to other areas. And the practices that we will continue to implement, consistent with what the county executive just mentioned, are practices that we think based upon the evidence and data that we have available, will continue to drive those numbers in that direction. Now, we have talked about being in a plateau state for the last several weeks. We continue to be in that area with some variability in our daily counts, ranging from, I think in the last week, we've seen a low of 65 to 66 and a high of over 150. And so that average continues to be somewhere in the 70 to 80s range. At any rate, we need to continue to see that number come down. And we also not only need to continue to see those numbers come down for our jurisdiction, but recognizing the regional place where we stand in the National Capital Region, as well as in partnership and proximity to the Baltimore area, we need to see numbers come down there as well to help influence our ability to move forward in reopening and making provisions for reopening within our jurisdiction.